to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi, YouTube. How are you? How's everyone doing today? I like to do a health checkup. And so, I want to update you guys on my 3 boxes that are missing. It turns out that they will be here by 9 p.m. Did they say delivered by 9 p.m. or in St. Croix by 9 p.m.? Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know what they said. Expected arrival 9 p.m. for your item. They deliver at 9 p.m.? I think it'll be here by 4 p.m. It's just that it's the weekend, so if I don't get it today, then I won't get it the whole weekend, and so I won't get it till Monday. And I just want you guys to see my new business cards. I got these amazing new business cards that I created on Vistaprint. And they're not tiny. Like, I'm just so tired because when you're selling things, you can't have little business cards, right? Although I do need little business cards. I realize I need little business cards for somebody else that is selling I need little business. I do need a little bit. Oh, let me get some little business cards. You know why? Because I'm thinking about selling them at the beach when I get a car, right? Because I have this huge gap. And so I think I can, when I get a car, go to the beach, sell to the tourists, and then come back home to do my evening shift. That's what I'm thinking about doing for future. IG can't see. I'm kind of glad you can't see it because it looks worse in IG because the camera's closer. But I am burnt. Look at that. How sad is that? Look what the sun did to me. I am burnt, but I am putting cocoa butter on it to handle it. You know. Hi, Sweet Jensen. Hi, Sanji. Hi, Tarika. Good help. Hi, Pink Lily. I need water. Oh, my God. Kenneth Williams. Hello. Hey, Tracy. I received the candles yesterday. And the extra one, right? Kenneth had a candle that didn't burn well. And it was a health candle. And he was like, oh, maybe it's just meant to be. And I was like, no, I don't believe in that. To myself. I didn't say that to you, Kenneth. But I was like, no, I don't believe in that. No, I believe. What the hell happened? Oh, doesn't matter. I believe that it just means we have to work harder at something if the candle doesn't burn. But I sent him out an extra one because that's what a business owner does. Like, we care, right? And so I sent him out an extra health one. All right. So thank you, everyone who has been purchasing my candles. Thank you, everyone who gets readings from me. Most people are shocked when they get readings from me because they're like, you didn't need a name or a birth date? I'm like, no. I really talk to spirit. I know that's hard to believe, but there is a thing where you really talk to spirit. You really have to listen to spirit. And although the human brain can convolute your ability to talk to spirit, that's when some of you use the word, I'm stuck. I'm stuck, Tracy. I'm stuck. You're not stuck because I need water. Because spirit is trying to talk to you. I need water. I can't do this anymore without water. Ow! Hey guys, can carbs affect you physically? So you guys don't realize how much weight I'm losing. You guys don't see it. I see it because this is all loose here. It might be still like tight here, but it's not even that tight here. I'm losing a lot of weight, but I know y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see it because the camera adds 20,000 pounds to you. I have a confession. Okay, Thai Life, give me your confession. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Kenneth. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Tell me your confession, Thai Life. So when you guys get readings from me, then you guys seem to think that I need information from you. I don't. Nope. I could do a general reading and hit it. One of the clients this week was like, "You didn't even ask me what his name was." Yeah, because I don't need to know. Because you are providing everything by talking to me. Mm-hmm. And then your spirits talk to my spirits, and then I'm the portal. And the only thing that they do give me permission to do is that I demand that I cannot be angelic. I don't know. Driving is heavy, sweetie. I think if you had your license for years and have not used it, I think that might be God, right? I don't know if I would push you to get out in the street right now. But if someone has a car, then you can maybe practice on their days off running around the block. Mm-hmm. I think driving is a wish and a desire. And if there's anything that's stopping you, it could be a past life thing where you might have went back to heaven via a car accident. Like, I'm not sure if overcoming that fear is that big of a deal, right? I mean, unless it's going to save your life one day. And I think if there's something and it's life or death, I think you can get behind the wheel and start driving. But other than that, I don't know if I would push it. To drive the other drivers on the road, and people are mean out there, and they'll cuss you out. Get the fuck off the road! Get the fuck off the road! Because they gotta go and get their Starbucks, and you're stopping them, and you're slow. You know, I would say that type of drama that you're not ready for, right? I was ready to drive, and I was ready to kick ass. Oh, you drive slow. Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! And it could be a man. I'll call anybody a bitch, right? I mean, they did it in St. Croix, right? Because it's opposite driving on the road here. And it gets very scary. So I'd be like, okay, I'm driving now. I'm like, okay, where am I on the right side? It gets very scary. And sometimes I didn't know the left from my right because it's opposite. I know it now, but in the beginning, and I didn't know how tourists just come to somebody's land and just start driving on the opposite. I couldn't understand any of this. And so I had a lot of men stop me. They're like, stop. Are you okay? And I'd be like, yes. I think, stay left. Stay left. And I go, okay. Okay. I'm going to stay left. So I don't know. I wouldn't make that big of a deal out of it. The bus is fine. Eat through experience that happened to me during surgery. What are you guys talking about? I can see it, Tracy. See what? Yes, Tracy, we do. We do what? I lost concentration. Oh, I lost concentration. The speed limits are unpredictable. No, they're not unpredictable. The speed limits are the speed limits. How people follow the speed limits is a bigger issue. But if you stay under the speed limit, you can cause a problem. If you go over the speed limit, well, you know what can happen. So staying as close to the speed limit, right, is your job. 54, 55. If it's 70, which it's like that in some Florida highways, you can't do 55 on a 70 highway. because everybody else is doing 70 plus. Hi, Jennifer. Good health, sweetie. Oh, you can see my weight loss? Oh, thank you. I saw it in, you know how they have the thumbprints? They have the thumbprints. And I was like, ooh, my face is kind of narrow. See, what you guys don't know, I don't know what part of West Indian or Africa, right? Or Haitian, maybe it's a Haitian look, but by way of Africa. I've got this long chin. It's a family thing, the long chin, right? And everybody always made fun of this long chin. It was like, kind of like abnormal. You know what it looked like? It looked like one of those African statues. You know those African statues with the pointy long chin? That was me growing up as a underweight woman, right? And oh, look at that long chin. And I guess it was a family thing, in the family. So it was one of the reasons why I never got my weight off, because the long chin, the weight rounded out the long chin. You no longer saw it, but now I'm losing weight again. It's like, I see that damn long chin. Um, Leos have narrow faces? Oh, I never realized that. Um, yes, I am being a good business owner and I am doing right by my clients. And so, yeah, Kenneth had a complaint and I was like, oh, no, we're going to work on you because the candles are flower remedy. So I don't know if you guys know, this is where I got the concept from. I think there's something literally called flower remedy. Hold on. My boxes are coming, guys. I just want my remedy. I forget the name of it. This is really Bach. Bach. Have you guys ever heard of Bach flower remedy? You get the images. So good, especially if you're under anxiety or depression. Rescue, which I should get some. I should get some. Rescue is so good. It really helps soothe your nerves. You guys never heard of uh, flower remedy? I think I need to get some now that I'm thinking about it. It's so good for you. Um, and it's good for anxiety. It's good for um, personal issues that you're having in relationships. It just really calms you down, right? And so when I was creating my business with the flowers, I said the same thing. I said, this is flower remedy. Um, Not to take away from rescue, but the name of the company is Rescue. And then they call it, because it has flower infusions, whatever. So my candles are intentional. You put your intentions into the flowers. And they are real dried flowers. And if you guys know me for years, I put bowls and flowers in my hair all the time. I am obsessed with flowers. But I really didn't know how much I loved flowers until I started the candle business. I realized, oh, flowers are my thing. Not psychic work, flowers. How you be a psychic all your life and figure out it's flowers? But I didn't get the memo until I relocated. And to be honest with you, not to give out too much personal information, but I do realize, when you trust God in the process, sometimes ugly things have to happen. And I do realize that one, I had to get isolated in St. Croix. And so God wouldn't give me the business because I tried several times. God wouldn't give me the business until I was isolated. And then God had to show me something. And He absolutely did not want my family to take advantage of me. I know this now because I'm a sucker for my family. And God was like, no. And so with that revelation comes a lot of weirdness and sadness. But with the sadness and sitting in sadness is how the trusting God is how the idea came through, right? Because a lot of you all, so exhausting. A lot of you all want to sit in sadness and doom and gloom about it for years. That's why you all never get over your men, right? Because you're so comfortable sitting in sadness. You can't see that there's a bigger world out there and go find the next man that wants to take care of you. I mean, you all will have another man come through, and all you will talk about is a man that abused you. And that's crazy to me. And I was speaking to a friend, texting, not speaking, and he was like, he went somewhere to like go meet women, and all they did was talk about their breakups. And that made me so sad for him, but it made me more sad for you, women, that you're so holding on. And sometimes you guys will call me for a reading, and you guys are like, I'll be like, I see this sign coming back. And you'll be like, I know exactly who it is. And I go, who? Oh, it's my ex from 10 years ago. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. But in any case, with my sadness, I enjoy the sadness first, right? So I don't fight it. I don't come and act like I'm okay, right? I told a lot of people what's been going on with me. Maybe not enough, but I told a lot of people what's been going on with me. And in sitting in the sadness, the business came through. And then once the business came through, I did realize that sometimes you have to trust God, and you can't put all your hope and desire into human beings. And so I appreciate that God gave me a really good concept, like a really good concept, but he wouldn't give it to me before because family would milk me dry. And God don't like that, right? He doesn't like for his good souls to be taken advantage of. And so God does what he does, and it's hard to swallow, right? But something more beautiful came out. More beautiful. So it's interesting, you know? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. I love this. Oh, you used it for your driving test. See? Jennifer said she used rescue for her driving test. Hi, Stephen. Oh, look at Cynthia. Cynthia Wilcox says, you got to remove old layers off your womb. Rebirth by cleansing your body with flowers and with herbs, right? Oh, I am going to write a book. I am going to write a book, but it's not going to be what you think, right? I'm very good at verbally speaking. I'm not going to write a book like others, right? I'm good at verbal, but I do plan on offering up a book so that you guys can tell your own stories, you know? It's a long story. All right, are we ready for the word of the day? Are we ready? Oh, wait, I got 10 minutes. I got a reading soon. All right, let's just take something in the center. Oh, well, here you go. This is something everybody needs to learn to do. Everybody does not practice this, so. All right. speak openly and honestly. Openly and honestly. And yes, therapy is the key. Not to moving on to self-revelations and growth, inner growth. Therapy absolutely is the key. Don't speak openly and honestly. When you speak openly and honestly, you won't have to make assumptions. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate clearly, cleanly, and achieve impeccability with your word. This is a really good point here, right? Sometimes when I have a problem with someone and I speak it to someone else, inevitably somebody else speaks on that person's behalf that's not in the room, right? So let's just say I'm talking to you and I go, she rolled her eyes at me, but she's done it often. And somebody, the person I'm speaking to, let's say it's you, will say, well, maybe she's having a bad day. You're not allowed to speak for someone else. You can only speak for you, right? So you can come back and say, have you asked her? That is speaking openly and honestly. But you saying, I think, even if you know a backstory, you still should not speak for them. Because you cannot speak for someone's actions or words. Only they can speak on their actions and words. You can acknowledge that you roll your eyes often. You can say, I kind of see, yeah, she rolls her eyes a lot. And that's not judgment. That just could be a fact. But to add to it, to any one situation where you don't know, stay out of it. But encourage the person, let's say it's me, and say, have a conversation with her. I don't think it's what you think it is. And end it. Right? And then when you have a conversation with someone, speak openly and honestly. Now, black women, I don't know about black men, but I think it's the same thing with black men. We have a hard time speaking. We talk in codes. Do you guys notice that? Especially in the hood, right? We talk in code, be like, all the time. And it's like, what is that? What is, first of all, I know what you're talking about. Second of all, use your words, right? And then we get a lot of people that speak in terms of, and I hate this, I'm stuck and I'm lost. Again, I can only speak on a demographic that does that with me, and it's black people. I'm stuck and I'm lost. Lost is a feeling. Stuck is an action. If you get to wake up every day, you are not stuck. You might be sitting to make some changes that you don't want to change. And no one's making you stuck. You are indecisive today. But if you say the word stuck, you could be stuck somewhere, like in a bad marriage for years, because that word has meaning and impact on you. If you're undecisive, then we have to go, what are you undecisive about? And then you have to speak openly and honestly. Well, I'm indecisive as to whether or not I want to leave my husband. I'm indecisive as to whether or not I want to leave this job. Now we're getting somewhere, because once we begin to expand on what it is that's grappling at our spirits and you identify it better, now you can't take your words back, because your mind is already expanded to, oh shit, I'm thinking about leaving my relationship. And you have to deal with that. But if you say, I'm stuck, it's a great word to never move. And I think it's Black vernacular, like, right? Your mother said it, your grandma said it. Girl, I'm just stuck. I'm stuck in this house and I'm stuck with these grandkids. You know, grandmas, ages. Their mouths are just, especially grandmas back in the day, right? They were some strong ass women, never budge from their seat, right? Did grandma ever leave their seat? Ever? Every time you walked into grandma's room, wasn't she in the same spot? Okay. By the kitchen, cooking. You never quite saw her cooking, did you? The food was just all of a sudden there. There was no cooking with grandma. She never left the chair. But that mac and cheese, you like, Grandma, you cook this? You cook, Grandma, you put your foot in it? Yeah, I cook it. That's what I do. I'll go. This, Grammy. I never saw her pick up a spoon. You know the big spoons? Never. Coded by old school. That's a good phrase. Coded by old school. In any case, learn to speak openly and honestly. Let's read it one more time. When you speak openly and honestly, you won't have to make assumptions. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly and achieve impeccability with your words. The other thing I don't like, and I'm finding this in my own life, is when people shut you out and then tell others to shut you out. That's hilarious. And then you're like, what? And if you're not dealing with honest people in the first place, right? Right? They think they're being honest. That's the most hilarious part in all of this. They think they're being honest, but when you see that they can follow the leader, especially leaders that are uneducated and manipulative and listen, like I was never like that. I know my son and my daughter-in-law has had problems with others, but I've gotten to know the others, right? And so I'm not a fan of shutting people out because y'all don't like it, right? And it's caused problems where it's like we don't associate with that person. And I was like, oh, why? I always want to get the why. And they'll explain, but half the times it's kiddie stuff. And I'm grown, right? And so I just make a conscious decision not to speak with someone because your influence is over me. I don't like that. To be honest with you, when I stay open to the others that people don't want me to be open to, I kind of get a second insight as to what went wrong. Like it's not all this and it's not all that. I could see where both parties fucked up. And I will say that. One thing, I've got plenty of friends on my son's side. They've all confessed to me, and I'm always like, you're right. That's his character. So you're right. And I always apologize because I know they're coming to me as mother figure. But at this stage of the game, you're 30 something. I can't. But I will apologize. I'll be like, I'm so sorry you had that experience with him. And they all say, no, it's not you. And I was like, yeah, I know. But since you're telling me that your side of the story, I do want to acknowledge that it's hard to swallow. So if it's hard to swallow for me, then it's hard. I can understand what you're going through, and I just want to apologize for your experience. All right? But people that tell you to stop being friends with others are not open, they're not honest, they're manipulative, and you really have to question your friends that make you act a certain type of way. If you're that type of person where it's like, if you fuck with my friend, I'll kill you. Now, I'm like that. You can't fuck with my friends. But I also might say something to you. I'd be like, why you fuck with my friend? Right? So again, speak openly and honestly. You may not like my method, but I actually need to see for myself. And then once I see what you're doing, then I'm like, no, no, you can't be this way with her and think I can trust you. So I'm out too. But at least there's a conversation about relinquishing, relationships, right? Instead of having a friend that says, talk to her. And then you agree, because it's actually mean girl when you do that. It's a pompous, football mean boy, right? And by the way, in high school, I did that. The nerds, back in the day, nerds were not sexy. They're hella sexy now. But the nerds would be isolated. And sometimes it could be a new kid in school. And he might smell. Okay. And then it'd be like, we don't sit over with smelly people. I'm like, damn. And I will sit with the nerds. In high school, all my friends were nerds. I remember Stacy was one of them. I adored Stacy. Stacy had orange skin because she tanned with orange solution. And she wanted us to think that it was natural, but it wasn't natural. And Stacy was a blonde with orange skin and orange hands. And all the while she's telling nerds, she's like, this is natural. It's like, no, Stacy, it's not natural. We know it. But she never stopped tanning in the winter in New York. I wonder where Stacy is at. Stacy would be about my age. She's so cute. There was Tom. And Tom wanted to be a priest. And I saw Tom years later in my early 20s, and he was partying hard. And I was like, in a club, and I was like, Tom, are you like still being a priest? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I've got the wrong concept of priesthood. I wonder if Tom ever became a priest. And then there was Gregory, and Gregory was madly in love with me. And I remember one day, Gregory did like this to my chin. He went to touch my chin. And I was at a pubescent age where hair follicles were growing. I didn't know what it was. It was like pimples, but I got hair follicles. And to this day, I will grow hair on my chin. And he touched me in a hair follicle, but I didn't know what they were. And he touched me, and he goes, very bumpy there, Tracy. And so, yeah, that ruined his ability for me to date him. It just turned me off. I was like, But then years later, Gregory came into the picture. And through Facebook, Gregory came into the picture through Facebook. And then another guy came into the Facebook once I reconnected with Gregory. And he tried to hit on me, and it worked. It worked. And he started telling things from my past. And he's like, I remember meeting you at the bus stop. And I was like, no, I don't. And I was just kind of like, oh, I went through so much in high school. Like, maybe at some point I was like, maybe you did meet me. In any case, it turns out because of Gregory, this guy, Mac, wound up relocating to California with no job. And I did readings on him, and the tower kept showing up, and I didn't want to listen to spirit. So I understand you guys don't want to listen to me. I get it. I didn't want to listen to spirit, even though every reading I got was the tower. And so he gets there, he relocates, he gets there, and he wasn't even there 3 days. I let him move in and everything. We've been talking for months. I let him move in and everything. No job. He wasn't even here 3 days when this woman calls me. And it was from his area code. And I was sitting down. We were on separate sides of the sofa. And this area code came up. And I was like, why is your area code coming up? But he looked at the number and he knew. And so I just handed him the phone. I was like, here, because I knew it wasn't for me. And so he picks up the phone, and I could see him be uncomfortable. And I said, take it outside. Take it outside. And so he came back in, and I was like, so what's going on? It turns out he was cheating on me with this woman and wanted to escape and made it so that he could come to me freely. But then it turns out, you know, she called me and she was like, she was all emotional. And she's like, you know, he ran and, you know, I have these kids. And it's very embarrassing. And I felt bad for her. And I was like, well, you could have him back. Like, I think it was shocking when you called my phone. I was like, you can have him back. But she was already mad. So she went on Facebook and she told everybody on Facebook, went to all my friends and said I was a home wrecker. Like, you can't be a home wrecker if you're not married. But I spoke to her a couple of times and I was like, no, you could stop this. I'm just going to send him back to you. But, you know, I wanted to send him back when I was ready, right? I wasn't going to just send him back. It turns out he couldn't keep a job. Turns out he was a little bitch. And I said, you got to go. He stayed 4 months. He was the fuck out of there. The funny part was my sister, Tony. She was living with us at the time. And she could see that he was not a responsible man. And one day my sister sat him down. My sister, my special needs sister. And she was like, listen, you have to be better. You have to work. You have to pay bills. And I'm sitting there thinking, and he was doing this to her. You're right, Tony. You're right. And I'm like, first of all, she's special needs. Let's start there. That was his fatal mistake, listening to my sister. I was like, you gotta go. You gotta go, dude. Oh, no pregnant. I'm too old for pregnancy. Oh, hi, Kimberlite. Oh, this topic gets me upset. Oh, Edna, let's start dealing with what gets you upset so that you could heal and you could have a better life. You can do it. All right, I better go. Love me some Tony. You can't help but love Tony. She laid the law down on him. And I was like, oh my God, my sister got to control my life. I'm out. I got to go. You got to go. Because it was my house. All right. Are we good? Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. Hold on. Are we good, everyone? Let me just wave to everyone on Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. Hi, J. Marie. Hi, Yep Shaken. Hi, Shakira. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. I gotta go. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go